I didn't get this preheater for free. I bought it with my own money, and it's been running on my bench every single day. After dozens of flawless reballs on massive GPU cores, the results were too consistent to ignore. My name is Fraser, and welcome back to GPU Solutions. Today, I'm showing you the Mechanic IX5 Ultra preheater. On my bench, you can actually see two versions side by side, the older model on the left and the newly updated one on the right. The older one has slightly smaller heating surface. You'll notice the back panel is open on this older unit. A mounting screw came loose, dropped inside, and shorted the positive rail to ground. It blew a capacitor, but I already ordered the replacement part. I'll get it fixed soon. But this video is about the new version. The new Mechanic IX5 Ultra has a much larger heating surface. It not only fits the RTX 4090 core, but can easily accommodate the RTX 5090 with ease. I already tested it myself on the new generation dies, and it handles them flawlessly. I've done hundreds of successful BGA reballs on this older model, but today I want to put this new one through its paces and show you exactly how it performs in real conditions. While I plug in the main AC power cable and flip the power switch, the display wakes up. The controls are simple, just two buttons. I press the plus button to raise the target temperature and the minus button to lower it. For this reball, I set the target to 200 degrees Celsius. The display then switches to show the current temperature. Right now, it reads 30 degrees, since we are starting from room temperature. For the demo, I'm using the RTX 4070 GPU core. I've already applied a thin, even layer of flux and I've placed 0.5 mm leaded solder balls on the pads. Leaded solder is a bit more forgiving during reflow, and it wets the pad smoothly. I lift the core gently and place it directly onto the preheating surface. Centering is crucial here. I align it so it sits perfectly over the heat source. You can see that all the balls are sitting cleanly in the center. Now I switch to the microscope for a quick inspection. Under magnification, I spot two balls that are slightly off, so I nudge them back with fine tweezers. I scan the whole surface to make sure every ball is seated properly. This step takes about 30 seconds, but it prevents bridging later. Everything looks solid. Time to start heating. I long press the plus button. The preheater begins to ramp up. I watch the display closely. The temperature climbs at roughly 2 to 3 degrees per second. At 95 degrees, you'll see slight movement in the balls. That's normal. The flux is activating and becoming less viscous, so I let it continue without touching anything. We hit 135 degrees. The flux is now fully activated. It turns clear and starts pulling the solder balls downwards. This is the wetting stage. Just a quick note on how this works. Only the core itself sits directly on the heating plate, so the heat naturally starts in the center and spreads outwards through the die. The larger surface area on this new unit gives you a stable, secure platform for bigger dies like the 5090. It holds the core firmly in place during reflow, which means better alignment and less headaches when you're working with next generation GPUs. At 190 degrees, melting begins. Notice how it starts from the center and slowly spreads towards the outer edges. The balls are collapsing onto the pads, self-aligning perfectly. The leaded solder is creating smooth round joints, no jumping, no splashing. 200 degrees reached. The unit emits a long confirmation beep. Target temperature is stable. Now I bring in the hot air station set to 200 degrees Celsius and gently aim in at the outer edges of the core. On larger dies like the 4090 or the 5090, the preheater alone can sometimes struggle to push enough heat to the corners. A light pass with hot air finishes the job. Watch how the remaining balls melt and sit instantly. Once everything is molten, I add a fresh layer of flux and flood the core gently. This extra flux reduces surface tension and pulls in slightly misaligned balls back onto perfect centering. This step is crucial for larger chips. Without it, you risk uneven joints or slightly misregistration. I do one final hot air sweep just to lock everything in place. Then I long press the minus button to cut the heat. Now, patience is the key. I don't move the core. I let it cool down naturally. Once the display drops to 100 degrees, the solder has fully solidified and the joints are locked. Only then I bring in isopropyl alcohol and a soft brush to clean off the residual flux. Look at the results under the microscope. Every single ball is perfectly aligned, zero bridging, no touching balls. The reflow was completely smooth. This preheater made the entire process feel effortless. With its steady controlled ramp rate, this unit prevents thermal shock and that directly translates to fewer bridging or cracked dies. I want to be completely clear. This channel is not supported by Mechanic. I purchased both units myself. I use them in my daily bench work, and I'm sharing this because the performance genuinely impressed me. The larger heating surface is a game changer for next gen GPUs. Temperature stability is consistent and the control interface is simple. If you work with larger BGA chips, you simply want more consistent reflows. This upgrade is worth considering. Remember, you can grab the 110 volt or 220 volt version. Both links are in the video description. I'll also include the exact 0.5 mm leaded balls I used and the flux type that gave the best results today. Now, you might be wondering, did the Reball actually work? This exact RTX 4070 core is now on my test system, running Nomad along with my other standard stress test. If you found this breakdown useful, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe for more hands-on GPU work and tool reviews that actually matter. Tap the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. And if you want to support the work directly, you can join as a channel member or use the thanks button as a one-time tip. Every bit goes back into better equipment and deeper testing. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now. Cheers.